if you're struggling in Apex Legends and you just started, I believe this is the video for you. There's nothing worse than starting out a new game and noticing that it's actually tougher than what you expected. Frustrating at times, maybe to the point where you might not even want to play that game anymore. But to keep that from happening, here are my 5 tips to help you improve in Apex Legends as a beginner. Let's get right into it. Alright, sometimes in Apex Legends, you'll get caught in the open when you're kind of far away from cover, but you see someone. And as soon as you see someone, you get that itch. You just want to let loose. But at the same time, if you see them, they can see you, and most likely their teammates can see you. So if you don't see their teammates, they're gonna beam you. Or there's a third party around. So this is what I mean by shoot into cover. You can definitely let off on someone, but shoot into cover. Get down, assess the situation, go back, fire. But this way, at least you're close to cover. If a third party comes, you can move around, re-angle, or do whatever you need to do. If their teammates are pushing you, can sit there and call it out to your teammates while still behind cover. So you're just not out in the open getting beamed. So just keep that in mind. If you see someone, you can shoot at them, but shoot into cover. Unless you got a masterful shot and you don't miss your shots, then go ahead, do what you do. But other than that, shoot into cover. But when I say peeking, I mean peek, but peek carefully. Don't peek for too long, and don't peek too far out. Your goal should be to take the least amount of damage while doing the most amount of damage, obviously. But for the sake of the tip, if you peek too far out, right, you're out here, that same amount of damage that you just did to that person can be returned to you from that person and their teammates. So if you're too far out while you're shooting from cover, you could get down before you get back into cover. Same thing as this if you're peeking for too long. You're shooting, that same amount of damage, people can't see your body, so most likely they're aiming directly at your head when you're peeking. You're gonna take a lot of damage, so don't peek for too long. Alright, so all you really need is come out right here. Go back, if that, maybe a little less. Boom, back. Boom, back. I'd rather shoot this than to get shot. Peeking up high. Oh. You're not out for too long. Not out for too long. And then you don't go too far out. Not all the way over here. Ooh. Over here. Knocked him. He's so upset with life. Okay, so say you and your teammates are fighting this guy and his teammates. If you were to shoot, change angles, and take the high ground, you're most likely going to catch them off guard, especially if your teammate is still here shooting at them. Now you have 2 different angles from where this guy is getting shot. It's an easy kill right there. As well, when you take the high ground, you can see his teammates if they're flanking your teammate. So say they're over here, you won't be able to see that if you're down here because you got this cover blocking you. So if you take the high ground, you can see that, call that out, and or intercept them before they get to your teammate. One thing you got to keep in mind, just probably the last point, but one of the most important points of taking high ground is being aware of the third party. So if you're up here, you're fighting this team, right? 100% there's going to be a team around lurking, ready to come and probably grief you or the other team. So to stop that, always be on the lookout for third parties. Always keep your ears open for the sound for other footsteps of third parties, because they're gonna come. So if you're able to see that right before the other team sees that, you can drop, call that out to your teammate, continue taking fire. You guys switch up your position to get a better position. So now when that third party comes, instead of you being caught in the middle, that other team is caught in the middle. So now they're the ones taking the most damage instead of you and your teammates, because you were able to call that out ahead of time. So keep that in mind as one of the big advantages of taking the high ground, but also catching an opponent off guard. Oh,
He could have self He's looking at you. Got a shotgun.
These shots are really bad, but the point that I'm trying to make is clear as day. By me switching up the angle and taking the high ground, I was able to drop right in front of this team without them even knowing I was there, so it definitely caught them off guard. Alright, so now we have shield swapping. Basically, shield swapping is you're dropping your broken shield and swapping out on a death box that has a brand new shield. So say you just finished a team off, right? And you have a third party coming. You can go switch on this death box. Instead of taking a bat, you change your shield. Now you have a brand new shield. Now instead of you sitting there and having to take bats, heal up your shield, then take syringes and med kits to heal up your health, you can go right into taking a med kit, saving you a lot more time. And on top of that, once you're done taking this med kit, now you have full health. And you can engage that third party that's coming in, or whatever the case may be. Before we get into shield swapping though, you're gonna have to change two settings. The first one is under gameplay. It's gonna be taking damage, closes death box or crafting menu. That has to be off, because if it's on, as soon as you hit this death box, right, and you take incoming fire, it's gonna close as soon as you take damage. Same thing with the crafters. The second settings we're gonna have to change is gonna be under controller, and it's gonna be the menu cursor speed. Usually it's pretty low, so you're gonna have to move it up to where you're comfortable enough to sit there and scroll through the menu. When you hit a death box, you're able to slide through the death box a lot quicker than what you'll be able to do if it was on its default settings. We were taking a lot of damage from this team, but we ended up eliminating them. Afterwards, I quickly hit the res. As I hit the res, you'll see me run to the death box, shield swap. I take whatever else I need, but because I shield swap, now I can go right into taking the med kit. As well, my teammate dropped shots on the enemy that was coming in on us, so that also gave me more time to get the med kit off. But after I got the med kit off, I was able to engage the enemy with a full set of health. Be aware of the weapons you're using. Take the time to learn when and when not to use certain weapons. For example, if you're carrying a 30-30 and an R9, alright, and someone closes in on you, switch to your R9. Submachine guns are the overall better weapons for close quarter battles. Like right here, you can definitely kill someone if they're moving like this. It's easier to track them, but in real time, in a real game, it's going to be a lot harder. So switch to your R9 or whatever submachine gun you're using and take your chances with that. You'll be a lot better off taking your chances with that than over a marksman rifle or a sniper rifle, whatever the case may be. Also, hit the firing range and learn your favorite weapon's recoil patterns. Each weapon is different. By knowing this, you will be able to predict and smooth the recoil on your weapons when shooting. Go from this to this. Implement these 5 tips into your game and see if it makes a difference. If you weren't using them already, I'm positive you will improve quickly. And as a beginner, be sure to hit the firing range and practice, practice, practice. On that note, if you guys found this video helpful in any way, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for the support, and thank you guys for watching. Catch you in the next one.
Yep.
Knock one.
You down.
104. Flash.
Game over.